Hi there, thanks for joining me. Today we are going to do a reformer workout that I taught at the studio recently and really enjoyed. We're going to do a lot of rounding of the spine, focusing on our C-curve and abdominal engagement and expanding the back body to help prepare us to do an exercise called Tendon Stretch. So if you've never done that exercise, we will try it today. We are going to start with just a little bit of a spinal warm-up without really using the springs or moving the machine at all. So I'd like you to take a seat with your feet on the platform. Parallel feet, hands hold the thighs. We'll do our hammock stretch for the spine. Just start moving through the spine. Take a nice big inhale, lift the chest up to the sky, eyes gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the tail, scoop the belly around the back. And you may want to make sure you have like footwork springs on just so the carriage doesn't move too easily here. And then we'll inhale to go back into the extension of the spine. Pelvis tips forward, chest lifts, take a big breath in. And then exhale, tip the pelvis, scoop the belly, round the back. Shoulder blades will widen, back ribs expand into space, front belly hollows and pulls in. 2 more like that. Lengthen up through the spine, lift the chest, slide the shoulders down, and round the back. Follow your breath. We inhale to extend and expand the spine. And then exhale to round the back, hollow the front of the body. Breathe every last bit of air out. And then lengthen all the way back up. Reach your arms straight in front of you. Soften the shoulders. Make sure you have plenty of room back behind you. Inhale to lengthen and prepare. Exhale to tuck the tail and start to roll down. Really, again, scooping that belly. Feel that pubic bone reaching towards the belly button. Tailbone tucking under. Let's pause and hold. And then roll it back up and forward. Take that again. Use your exhale to roll it back. Scooping the belly, hollowing out, and feel that back body expand right at the point where you feel like you might lose control. Pause, and then lift it back up. Let's take that 2 more times. Breathe it all out. Feel the fingertips reaching forward to expand through the back, and then lengthen it up. 1 more. Tuck the tail. We're going to hold this one and stay. And then I want you to just breathe continuously and start to pulse. Pulse. Good. You're holding the position and just taking little pulses up and down. Feeling those abdominals start to fire. Good. 4 more. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. And then stack the spine all the way up and relax for a moment. If you haven't already, go ahead and set yourself up for footwork, whatever is working for you with footwork on your machine. I have 3 reds on my Balanced Body Studio Reformer, and let's lay down for some footwork. So coming down, head on headrest. I prefer headrest up for footwork here. You can make that choice for yourself though. Toes on the bar, heels together, toes apart. So the heels are touching, we're spiraling the thighs out. I don't want you to let your knees go wider than shoulder distance apart though. We're gonna keep them about shoulder distance apart, so it's really about that rotation within the hip socket. And then when you're ready, press all 10 toes into the bar and extend your legs, fully extending through the knees, squeezing those thighs together, and then bring it back in. Let's take that again. We're pressing out, we're feeling the rib cage heavy into the carriage, the tailbone sinking down towards the ground, press, and bring it back in. And then take that again, push, control it in. Just as much work on the way in as on the way out to light up those hamstrings. Take it again, press it out, and in. 2 more here, press out, and in. 1 more, push out and stay. And then I want you to drop the heels down below the bar, and then squeeze the heels together a little bit more as you lift back up. Lower with control. And then lift it back up. Good. Few more there. Lower with control. Good. And lift. And lower. Keep thinking about those thigh bones spiraling out, but press into your big toes. Last 2. Last 1. Whew. Bend the knees, come all the way in, and then right away I want you to switch to heels on the bar. Extend your right leg straight out over the bar, really sending energy through the heel. And then as you press into the bar with your left heel, I want you to extend your right leg up and feel that length through the back of the leg, and then lower it back down. Take that again, push it away. And then bring it in. Awesome, take that again, press. Again, we're thinking same amount of effort on the way in as on the way out, so we're working the front of the leg and the back of the leg evenly. Last 2. Knee is pointing straight up to the sky as you bend in, and then make sure it stays in that orientation as you straighten. Let's switch legs. Right heel on the bar, right in line with your sits bone there. The left leg extends over the bar, and we push. And then lower it back down. Good. Take that again. Press. And bring it in. A couple more. Press. Good. That thigh bone is just flexing within the hip socket. Imagining the femur head dropping into the back of that hip socket. Nice joint congruency, if you will. One more. Come all the way in. Place your arches of your feet on the bar and go ahead and drop your headrest down flat if you have it up. Press your arms into your carriage. Roll your pubic bone towards your belly button and peel your spine up until you're in a bridge. We are going to actively press down through those arms as you lift your pubic bone up and pull your knees forward towards your toes. And then go ahead and slowly roll down, dropping the chest, sinking the ribs, hollowing the belly all the way down and drop. And then take that again, pubic bone to belly button, roll it up as you press firmly down into those palms, into the backs of the arms, lift, and then roll it back down. Take a breath at the bottom, roll it up. I have a wonderful friend named Sarah who does these reformer workouts sometimes. And Sarah, if you're watching this, I just need you to know I thought of you when I said palms. Roll it all the way down. Let that tailbone drop at the bottom. We're all rolling up one more time. Press down into those feet. Feel the pubic bone reach forward through the knees. Keep our hips even. Float your right leg up to tabletop. And then place it down. Now do the left. Keep breathing. And lift. And lower and left. Press firmly into that foot that's on the bar. And lower and left. Let's do one more each way. Good. Open that chest by pressing into those arms. Pause at the top. Maybe see if your hips have dropped a little and lift them a little higher. And then take your time to roll through the spine to lower. Take a breath there. Very good. We're going to sit on up for a moment and drop down to springs for our mid-back series, or hundreds if you're more familiar with that. I like to do 2 reds here on my balanced body reformer. You can lay yourself right back down. And then grab your shorter loops in your hands. If you have double loops, I should have mentioned that. I have double loops, so I grab my shorter loops. You can do whatever loops you have or handles. Bring both legs up to a tabletop position. Press into those straps so that your arms are right over your shoulders and there's some tension in the ropes. When you're ready, exhale, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up as you press down into those straps, reaching the fingertips forward and then releasing it back down. Let's take that again. Exhale up. Inhale it down. 2 more there. Curling the chest forward to come up and lower. On your last one, we'll hold it there, stay, round it forward, reach long through those fingertips, exhale your right leg long, bring it in, do the left. Good. We're thinking about narrowing the waist with every exhale, drawing the low belly in and up. We want to see a flattening in that belly. And reach, and reach. One more each way. And reach. And then we'll lower the head down and reach the arms up to the sky. Now keep the legs where they are and take the arms straight out to the side. On this version, we're keeping our head down and exhaling to press the arms down to the hips, feeling wide through those collarbones, really open in the fronts of the shoulders. And then exhaling down. Inhaling to open back up to that starting position. Try to feel your rib cage heavy. Maybe we think of softening the sternum bone down into the back. On your next one, we will pull the arms all the way down and stay. Squeeze your legs together. Really press into those straps with your hands. Next, exhale, extend your legs long. Inhale them back in. Again, our head is down here. And we're focusing on the lower area of the belly. Think about narrowing between the hip bones, drawing the belly button in and up as though you could tuck it under the ribs. 2 more. 1 more there. Bend the legs, bend the elbows. Keep the elbows tight to the body and pulling down into the carriage. Exhale to extend the arms and the legs as you curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Everything together. Now reach it long, and then we bend everything in and return down. Take it again. Reach it out long. And then bring it back in. Chest is curling forward and up. 2 more there. 1 more. Stay there. Reach long through those hands. Curl that chest forward and up a little bit more, getting that thoracic flexion. Take small circles of your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse the circle. 5, 4, 3. You got it. Keep reaching to those straps. 2, 1, and relax. Bend those knees. Let the arms come up. Rest your feet. Hang your straps up. And then take your hands and hold your pegs that are behind your shoulder rests and drop your elbows open. In that position, feel your ribs heavy, and then twist your knees to the right for a little stretch through your waist. Breathe there, and then come back through center and go the other way. Big breath, opening up those right ribs. And then coming back to center, and then make your way all the way up to sitting. We will switch to just 1 spring, 1 red spring on a Balanced Body Studio Reformer. We will grab our loops. I'm gonna hold the shorter loops in my hand, and the legs will go straight out in front with the hips right up against the shoulder rests. Thumbs under chest here, elbows pulling back. Go ahead and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Take a nice big inhale, and then on your exhale, extend your arms long. Elbows will fully extend, and then we'll go 1 bit further to widen those shoulder blades on the back. My hands are still shoulder distance apart, and then we're going to slide the shoulder blades back together, bend the elbows, and draw the thumbs back in under the chest. Take it again. Press it out long. Widen the shoulder blades on the back, expanding through that mid-back area. Slide the shoulder blades together, bend the elbows, and pull back. Good, let's take that again. And then draw it back in. Good, we'll take 2 more there. Just mobilizing that mid-back area, mobilizing the shoulder blades, starting to turn on the muscles in the fronts of the shoulders. 1 more. Now pull it back into that starting position. We will start the same way, but now we're adding rounding of the spine. So I want you to scoop your belly into your back as those arms reach forward. We're still widening those shoulder blades, lengthen and stretch, push into those straps, and then lift everything up. Arms come up to the sky. We open the arms and come back around. Take that again. We push through. Scoop the belly around the back. Reach long through those fingertips, up to the sky, and open. 2 more there. Lift up to the ceiling. Widen those arms and pull back in. 1 more like that. Scoop. And lengthen through the spine and open and pull it back. Good. We are going to put the straps down, and we are going to go into our knee stretch series. So 2 red springs again, or 2 full springs. Hands on the bar, feet against the shoulder rests. I want you to really try to flex your toes under so that you can push the balls of the feet and the heels into the shoulder rests. Hands are shoulder distance apart. Let's pause here for a second. We're not moving our springs at all. I want you to round the back. High Halloween cat. Feel that rounding of the spine. As you feel that rounding, push your hands down into that foot bar. And then lift your tail, reverse the spine, lift the chest, extend. 2 more times like that. Round. And extend. Good. 1 more there. Scoop the belly in, press through those hands, and go the other way. Good. Now find that high Halloween cat again. Round the spine, push into the bar, and without moving your springs yet, carriage doesn't move. We're going to sit the hips back so they're hovering just a couple inches off the heels. Again, we're pushing into the bar. We're staying connected here. Spine stays in that C curve. Push your legs back only as far as you can without untucking the tail, and then scoop it back in. Inhale to press back. Exhale it in. Inhale, press back. Exhale in. 4 more. 4. 3. And 2. And 1. Come all the way in. Uncurl the spine back into towards extension, but more neutral this time. And then push your weight forward into your hands to lift your knees. And then again, keep those springs closed and sit the hips back. Keep the hips back, push your legs straight, out and pull in, out, in. Keep expanding through those back ribs by pushing into the bar. 4 and 3 and 2. Keep breathing, and 1. Very nice. Lower those knees all the way down, relax, and then stand up into your elephant position. So straight legs. Heels are flat now on the carriage. I like to do heels right up against shoulder rests. Hands pressed down into the bar, and then just like you did on your knees, find that high Halloween cat rounding position, C curve of the spine. Push down through your heels, push down through your hands. Keep the rounding of the spine, push the carriage back slightly, and then draw the belly in and up to bring the carriage back and close the springs all the way. Press it up, pull it in, press it out. Don't slam your springs like I just did. Press it out, pull it in, press it out, pull it in. 3 more, 3 and 2, 1 more. Beautiful. Lower your knees all the way down. Feet still up against those shoulder rests, but now the heels are back high like we did in our knee stretch series. I want you to sit your hips back a little bit. Start to push your knees back. Lower the hips down towards the ground, but with control. We're lifting through that belly. And then from here, lift your chest more and push down into the bar to extend that upper back as you pull in. And then we push it away, keeping the spine extended. Take it again, lift the chest, pull forward and up. And then press it away. 2 more, lift. And press away. 1 more, lift forward and up. And press away. Keep the carriage out there, and then push your hips back and pull the knees underneath you to return that carriage back into the starting position. Really nice. That was awesome. Okay, great. So now we're going to go into our stomach massage series. For that, I'm going to stay on 2 red springs today. You could add a half a spring or a blue spring if you want a little bit more tension, and that's totally fine. But what you do want to grab is some sort of mat that's going to be a little sticky underneath you on the carriage here. So I have this gray pad from Balanced Body. Any kind of sticky mat you can use. You can even try just a towel underneath yourself to keep you a little bit more stable on the carriage. We're going to take whatever you have, and we're going to place it just a little bit more than a hand's length away from the front edge of your carriage, and then we're going to sit on it. So go ahead and sit, feet on the bar. We'll do a Pilates V position. This is a lot of flexion in the hips and the knees. If it's too much for you, go ahead and move that pad back and move your body back a little bit with it. So toes are on the bar, heels together, toes apart. Our hands are going to come to the front edge of the carriage. We're going to use that carriage to gently pull up, expand that area between the shoulder blades, scoop the belly in. So we're thinking about that C-curve position we've been finding in our knee stretch series and in our elephant, pulling up. And then from there, you'll press the legs straight, keep scooping that belly in, expanding the back, drop your heels down below the bar, just like in our footwork. Lift the heels up and then bend it back in. Take that again, press it up. Lower the heels down, lift the heels up and come back in. Keep going, press it up. We're opening up that mid-back. Try to stay active from the head to the tail, from the hands to the shoulders. 2 more. Legs are moving, but it's really not about the legs much here. 1 more. Lower, lift, come back in. Keep the hips and feet where they are. Now take your hands, place them on the shoulder rests behind you. Lift that chest up and try to come into a neutral spine. Yeah, we're opening up the fronts of the shoulders, pressing down into those shoulder rests. We press out with the legs. We drop the heels down. We lift them up. We come back in. We get really tall as we press out, and then we try to maintain that height as we pull in. Good. Fighting against the urge to collapse as we get that deep hip flexion. Press, lower, lift. 1 more there. Good. And then 1 more variation for our stomach massage series. My personal favorite. Bring your arms out in front of you. Woo, that's hard work to sit up like this. No dropping of the heels this time. You'll press your legs straight. As you do, you want to twist open to the right. And then we bend in and come to center. Take it to the left, press out and twist open with the spine. And then bring it back in. Take it to the right, extend and reach. And pull it in. And extend and reach. And pull it in. Good, 1 more set. Extend and reach. And pull it in. Last one, extend and reach. Pull it all the way in. Nice work, very good. You no longer need that pad. Let's go into a chest expansion exercise to work the backs of the arms, and then we'll go ahead and go into our tendon stretch. I'm gonna get rid of my pad. We will go to, let's do a red and a blue spring today. And then I'm gonna have my back to you for a moment as we do chest expansion. So we're coming to kneeling, facing towards the ropes. I like to grab up at the top of the strap where it meets the hardware for chest expansion and have your knees just a couple inches away from the shoulder rests. Hips right over the knees, ribs dropped and stacked right over the hips. We'll take a nice big inhale to press the arms back. Oh, maybe this is too heavy for me today. Press those arms back, hold, and then turn your head to one side. Turn your head to the other side. Bring your head back to neutral and let those arms come forward. I'm gonna move my hands back a little to make it a little lighter for myself today, but you do what feels good for you. We're gonna slowly press back. Remember, you can always go lighter or heavier. Turn your head the other way. Come back to center and release. Remember, it's all about doing this in a really good quality. So if the weight is making you sacrifice your form at all, please change it. Turn the head, come back to center. And release. Let's take it 2 more times. Press it back. Turn. Back to center. Release. 1 more time. Press it back. Turn the head. Back to center. And release. That's awesome. Great. Okay, let's start working on our tendon stretch now. So if you are familiar with it, great. If not, no worries. It can look a little bit scary, but I promise you, you will be okay. So we are going to do it first with all of the springs loaded so that we can practice getting into the position in a way that feels a little bit less scary because the carriage won't move. And then you can decide for yourself if you're ready to do the next version of it, which I will talk you through, or if you want to stay with just the setup today. Especially if you're new to the exercise, if the setup feels a little scary, maybe just stick with practicing the setup today and know that that's like totally wonderful work. So load up all of your springs. Your bar should be up at, we call this the high position or in the middle notch with our Revofa bar for the Balanced Body Studio Reformer. You will know what you can and can't do with your bar, so put it to, if you have the option to have like a medium setting, put it to that medium setting. Okay, now from here we sit on the bar. Our feet are set up in a Pilates V position with balls of the feet on the carriage and heels back enough so that there's room behind the carriage. Your heels are kind of floating in space off of the carriage. Balls of the feet on, hands are on the bar with your fingertips facing towards your ropes, next to your hips. Now remember, we're just practicing the setup here. So your hands press down into that bar, your legs start to extend as you lift your hips up and let your head go down towards your toes. Press into the bar for a moment, feel that expansion of the mid-back that we've been working on. Open up those shoulder blades, scoop the belly, and then go ahead and sit back down. Nice work, you did step 1. Take that again, press down into the hands, lift the hips, straighten the knees all the way, and drop the head. And then we'll lower it down. Let's take just the setup 1 more time. Press down through the hands, lift the hips, scoop the belly, and good. Feel that expansion in the back, and then relax it down. Awesome. So if that felt pretty comfortable for you, go ahead and join me on the next step of the exercise, which is doing the full exercise. If that felt a little crazy for you, just keep practicing the setup with all of the springs on for me. You can watch what I do and you can decide later if you're ready to try it. So we are going down to a red and a blue spring, or 1.5 springs. And this will mean we have to do a lot more work to control the carriage and move it and bring it back up into the starting position. So we start the same, sitting on that bar, hands next to hips, balls of the feet on the carriage, heels together, toes apart, heels a little bit behind the edge of the carriage. When you are ready, try to keep those springs closed, lift your hips, and come up into that position we found before. Keep your hands attached to the bar. When you are ready, drop your heels down towards the springs and start to push the carriage away with straight knees. Hips come forward as you push that carriage away. And then we use our next exhale to scoop the belly and lift the hips back up towards the sky to bring the carriage back in. Inhale to press away. Exhale to scoop it in. Inhale to press away. Exhale to scoop it in. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, press away. Keep those knees long. Press into the carriage. Press into the bar with your hands. And inhale. And exhale it up. Beautiful work. Bend your knees. Great job. We are going to finish today with a little cool down, putting our feet in our straps. So we'll do 2 red springs and we will lay back down on the carriage. Again, if you have double loops, you can choose to do the longer loops here for your feet, but you can use whatever you have. You can do headrest up or down. I'm going to go ahead and do headrest up. And then we will place the feet in the straps. Let's go parallel for a second since we've done so much Pilates V. So parallel legs up to the sky, keeping the tailbone heavy. So we're sinking the pelvis down as the legs float up. Next exhale, press your legs down as you feel a drawing in and up of the low belly. And then inhale the legs back up, really dropping your tail down towards the ground, keeping a little bit of space between your low back and the carriage. Let's take that just 2 more times. Press it down. And lift it up. 1 more, exhaling down. And then inhaling up. And then we'll lower down halfway. Again, I want you to stay parallel. We're going to open those legs just as far as you can without the knees turning out to the side, and then squeeze them back together. And then take that again, open, and squeeze, finding those inner thighs, open, and squeeze. 1 more there. And squeeze. Now again, we'll keep those legs parallel to take our circles today. Legs come up to the sky. Open just as wide as you can with the knees still pointing back towards you, not out to the side. Pull down and come together. Take it again, up. Open, press down, and squeeze together, trying to keep those hips equally weighted throughout. I felt a little wobble in my pelvis there. See if you can stabilize the pelvis. And then let's reverse that circle, go the other way, down, open, up and around. Anchor that tailbone, heavy through those back ribs. 2 more. 1 more. Good. If your headrest is up, please knock it back down flat here for a little inversion. We're going to press down into the arms. Use your next exhale to curl the pelvis up and lift your legs up to the sky. Active through those arms, slowly roll down with a gentle pressure into those straps to keep your legs right over your hips. Tail drops at the bottom. Take it again. Use your exhale to roll up through the spine. Push down through those arms and then roll it back up bone by bone, 1 vertebra at a time. Drop into the tail. 1 more. And then roll it down. Good. Bend your knees in towards your chest. I want you to grab the straps or the ropes and just open your knees out to the side for a little inner thigh stretch. A little happy baby, if you will. Maybe rock side to side. And then bring your knees back in together. Carefully take your straps off of your feet. Control the carriage back in. Place your feet down. Hang your straps back up or just drop them, whatever your styles, whichever style suits you. And then you are all set for now. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel great, and I'll see you again next time.